Hi guys, today I want to discuss whether if we merge the Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, if that would make a perfect film. Because there are things that I don't like, there are things that I like about each one. I think the Necronomicon is better in Evil Dead 2. It's bigger. When you look at the first movie, the Necronomicon is just so small, and there is a page that's in color. I think it has blue and green. So I don't know whose blood is blue and green. Maybe a Vulcan, but that doesn't explain the blue. I love Bruce Campbell in both, but I feel like he found his footing in the second one. The first one, he was being too serious, and his unibrow was not flattering. I do love Cheryl, so Ellen Sandweiss. I really like her, and I love that she reprises her role in Ash vs. Evil Dead. I think it's weird because for the longest time I didn't catch that they were brother and sister. They don't act like brother and sister, and she just seemed like a random friend who Ash didn't seem very protective over her. He didn't seem all that eager to help her try and escape after her incident, her, as he so eloquently put it later, her branch banging. I really like the pencil in the ankle. That stood out. That's like the one scene that I could remember over the years after the first time I watched it. I do love the simplicity and the seriousness of the first film, and I also love the comedy in the second one. So I think actually if they had done more of a mixture between the two, so a little bit serious, a little bit funny, I think that would have worked well. I kind of like the ambiguous ending for the first one, and I love the effect that has stayed constant with the rushing demon power through the woods. I love that camera effect, and you know, that's a staple. That's not going anywhere, so that I'm glad that's in the other movies as well. So I like the small friend group concept, that they're just up there, just an internal force, as opposed to the second one where they have Ash and Linda and then some other random people who enter into it. So I like the intimacy of the first one and how they're friends, even though I don't love all the actors and actresses. So I like Bruce, obviously, as Ash, and Ellen as Cheryl, and then the other three, don't really care one way or another about them. So I like the idea of them. I don't like necessarily their portrayal. Then 2, I only appreciated after watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. So this one was not my favorite. I found it to be too humorous, so I would like a mixture of the two. I think this one has a better Linda. I love her head in the vice. I love the dancing and her teeth. I feel like she's a better Deadite. I know that's controversial. I know some people love first Linda, but I think this Linda is better. I love that Ted Raimi's in it, even if he's gross Henrietta. I'm really annoyed by Jake. Bobby Joe's fine, and Annie drives me crazy. She gets under my skin a little bit. I love the possessed Ash hand. That's perfect. I love the beginning of the chainsaw hand and the sawed-off shotgun. Iconic, important. I love how the movie segues into the third film, Army of Darkness. I like the car being a constant, the Oldsmobile, and I love how it just kind of gets sucked in. And the other thing is, Ash as a Deadite, it's so weird because daylight cures him somehow, but that never works again, and they do reference that in Ash vs. Evil Dead. I think he says, like, daylight worked the one time, and then when he's a Deadite again, randomly in the cabin, and Linda's necklace, the one he gave her, somehow that shocks him out of it. That doesn't make any sense, and that annoys me. So I could have done without Deadeye Ash, even though it's humorous and absurd, but it doesn't really have a place. So I think if we cut the characters better, so we could have Cheryl and Ash, Bobby Joe could have been one of the friends, I don't care, and second Linda, I forget her name, that would have been great. And then eliminated the, I do like the Henrietta part, but Henrietta could have been there without Annie and the research guy. That would have worked. And then, you know, worked on the balance between comedy and horror. I think that just would have been so good. And I know it's too late to do it now, but I wish they had done something more of a merging instead of kind of reimagining it for the second one. I think that would have been really cool. And I did see the remake with the girl, what's her name? Jane, I think. What's her name? Jane? Jane Levy? Is that her name? I didn't love it. It was too dark. It was too devoid of humor, and it was too serious, but not in a horror way, in like a bad after school special heavy way. Because if I remember correctly, she was a drug addict, and it was a downer. I found it to be depressing, and I was not impressed at all by that one. So I don't know that I ever want to rewatch that. I'm hoping to watch Army of Darkness soon, before Halloween, maybe do a little discussion here about it. I do love that one. That one's my favorite of the franchise. And I think it might be too ambitious, but I would like to do an episode by episode discussion of Ash vs. Evil Dead. So we'll see if that happens. I could always start it and finish it later too. It doesn't have to be before Halloween. So we'll see. But let me know what you think. Do you think each movie is its own awesome entity and they stand alone and shouldn't be messed with? Do you think there could be a merging like how I would like it? Even if it's not emerging in the same way that I would like it. And, you know, let me know your ranking of the Evil Dead movies. I would like to hear. Have a spooky day.